Hello students, welcome to Connected. In today's session, we will go through the chapter of rights of consumers and learn the basics of it. So, let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Students, throughout the day, we use a variety of items such as toothpaste, tea powder, packaged meals, and numerous electronic devices such as phones, microwave ovens, and electronic tablets. To put it in another way, we are all consumers. We pay for the products we buy and the services we use. As a result, as customers, we have certain rights. Due to man's inability to provide all of the products and services that were required, goods and services were exchanged. Both the seller and the buyer have a right to expect certain things. The seller has the right to get fair market value for the goods or services he sells, whether in cash or in kind. The buyer, on the other hand, has the right to receive fair value for the money he pays. This will include an expectation of proper quality, quantity, prices, and information about the manner of use, among other things. When this right is infringed, it is the state's responsibility to intervene through law to assist exploited consumers. The Consumer Protection Act of 1986 has been hailed as a major milestone in Indian history. It safeguards the interests of consumers. It provides coverage for all goods and services. It establishes consumer protection councils at the federal and state levels. The goal of these councils is to safeguard the consumer's interests. Students, now let's learn about the types of consumer rights. Number 1. Right to safety. The customer has a right to be protected from potentially hazardous products that have been tampered with. They have a right to clean air and water as well. Number 2. Right to choose. The consumer has the right to select from a wide range of products. The seller must provide the consumer with a variety from which to choose. The seller should not force the customer to make a decision. Number 3. Right to be informed. The consumer has the right to be adequately informed about the product. This information must be available on the product's label or be provided with the product. Number 4. Right to redress. When he receives a defective product, the consumer has the right to file a complaint with the Consumer Council and seek compensation. Number 5. Right to consumer education. The consumer has the right to be educated about his various rights and how to resolve his grievances. Various non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and government awareness programs address this issue. Students, do you know while we enjoy learning about and exercising our consumer rights, we rarely take our responsibilities seriously? Consumer responsibility can play a critical role in not only monitoring the market, but also in limiting unnecessary consumption. The following points can be summed up as: A. When purchasing a product or service, a consumer should exercise extreme caution. B. A consumer must make every effort to learn about the product or service. C. A consumer must make a concerted effort to reduce consumption, select environmentally friendly alternatives, and conserve energy. D. Be wary of sellers selling tainted products and false advertising. E. Only ISI, AG mark, and hallmark products should be purchased. F. When purchasing goods, make sure you have the guarantee card or warranty card, example in case of electronic items. G. When purchasing a product or using a service, request a suitable receipt. Students, let's look into the features of the Consumer Protection Act. The Consumer Protection Act of 1986 derives its authority from the Articles 14, Right Equality, to 19, right to freedom of the Indian Constitution. The Right to Information Act (RTI), which has allowed the general public access to our country's governance processes, has far-reaching implications for consumer protection. The following are some of the CPA's key features. A. The term consumer is defined as a person who buys something, a person who buys products and services for their own personal consumption. B. Consumers' protection. The Act aims to promote and safeguard consumers' interests in the face of flaws and defects in goods and services. It also aims to protect a consumer's rights from unfair or restrictive trade practices that may be used by manufacturers and sellers. C. Courts. It establishes consumer courts which have the authority to hear consumer complaints. D. Compensation. The Act's provisions are mostly compensatory in character. This means that if the consumer court rules in his favor, the complaint will be compensated. E. Councils for consumer protection. The fundamental goal of these councils is to promote and safeguard consumer and societal rights and interests. Students, let's learn about consumer education and awareness. This is the logo of consumer awareness. The 24th of December is National Consumer Rights Day in India. Its goal is to promote consumer solidarity within the national consumer movement and to improve consumer protection. Every person, regardless of career, age, gender, community, or religious affiliation, is a consumer. Since the Consumer Protection Act of 1986 was enacted on this day, it is known as the National Consumer Rights Day. Goa has consumer courts at the district and state levels, which are governed by the Consumer Protection Act. The Goa State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission is at the state level, and the District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum North Goa and District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum South Goa are at the district level. Consumers in Goa can use these bodies to file complaints. The Department of Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs of the Goa State Government also strive to safeguard and promote consumer rights. Under the Public Distribution System or PDS, it regulates the acquisition and/or distribution of essential commodities such as rice, wheat, sugar, edible oil, and kerosene oil. In Goa, several citizen-led consumer organizations have been active. The following is a list of some of these organizations. Number 1. Goa Society Consumers, Miramar. Number 2. Panaji-based Goa Consumers Association. Number 3. Mapusa Consumers Guidance Forum is located in Mapusa. Number 4. Margao Consumers Assistance and Research Center. Number 5. Panaji Consumer Guidance Society of India, Goa branch. And number 6. Mapusa is home to the Goa Civic and Consumer Action Network. Students, let's do a fun exercise to revise the chapter. Number 1. What does right to safety mean? Number 2. Which day is the National Consumer Rights Day in India? Number 3. What is written on the logo of consumer awareness? Number 4. Name a citizen-led consumer organization in Goa. Now let me discuss the answers. Number 1. Right to safety says that the consumer has the right to be safe from hazardous products which may be adulterated. They also have the right to clean air and water. Number 2. 24th of December is National Consumer Rights Day in India. Number 3. Jago Grahak Jago is written on the logo of consumer awareness. Number 4. Goa Consumers Association, Panaji. With this, we have come to the end of today's class. I hope you enjoyed this session. See you all in the next class. Thank you.